Hello, lovely human. I hope you are very, very well today. Today's SMS, 7-minute soundbite, is a slice of life anecdote from one of my recent bus journeys. Now, I use public transport quite a lot. It makes sense, especially in London, where the distances are not massive and it's sometimes quicker and actually cheaper to just get on public transport. So I use the bus quite a lot, and I was on the bus a couple of days ago. In fact, I think it was yesterday, and I actually enjoy sort of people watching while I'm on the bus. I mean, not in an obvious way where I'm staring at people, but I find it very interesting how the energy in the bus can sort of subtly or quite significantly vary depending on who gets on and how they behave, and whether people are smiling or grumbling. And yeah, and there's probably a few bus stories that I can tell you. But anyway, this one happened yesterday, and I was on the bus, and I noticed this young couple. It was a boy and a girl. I don't know if they're a couple in a romantic sense of the word, but they certainly looked like they were traveling together and were friends. And both had very beautiful faces, smiling demeanor, nice looking couple. And I noticed that the boy, the chap, was actually standing, so he was kind of facing me. I was a few seats in to the bus, and he was standing, and his friend was standing with him, but had her back to me. And he had a lovely, kind, smiley face, and she too had a, really sweet face and a lovely smile. And every so often, it felt to me like they were looking at me. Certainly, they were looking in my direction, and they were smiling. And the girl seemed every so often whistle like this. Like that. Sorry, I had to just give you a demonstration. It wasn't a wolf whistle, it was just one of those little kind of whistles. It was very, very subtle, but it was distinct. And it's very odd behavior. And because they kept looking in my direction, I started to think, why are they looking at me? You know how you suddenly begin to get a little bit paranoid, like, is there something wrong with my hair? Did I forget something on my face? Is there something odd about the way I've dressed? What is it that's making them keep looking at me? Anyway, luckily I was not feeling particularly insecure, and I thought, even if I am looking strange, it's okay. I don't really care. And then after a while, after this happened several times, and I had a sort of a general slight smile on my face, which showed that, I didn't mind that they were smiling at me, but I wasn't quite sure whether they were smiling at me, but I wasn't being unfriendly. I wasn't threatened by them looking at me. Then after a while, some of the seats at the back got empty, and this couple then moved up and sat in a couple of seats just diagonally to my left. And at this point, I realized that they had not been looking at me, but they'd actually been looking at somebody sat behind me who was either somebody they knew or was traveling with them. So that mystery was solved. Okay, they weren't actually looking at me and smiling. And then the second thing I realized, because I could see the girl more closely, that the whistling seemed to be involuntary. So it wasn't like she was whistling at something or that it was a happy whistle. It was actually like every minute to 90 seconds, this whistle just erupted from her. And I began to think, I wonder if she's got something like Tourette's. Tourette's is where you have certain muscle spasms and you can't control. Some people just say certain words or make certain vocal noises, and they just can't control it. And I began to wonder if that's what was going on with her. And the reason I'm doing this video for you now is that it just occurred to me how, if I'd been in a different state of mind, if I wasn't me, if I was somebody else who was perhaps a little bit insecure or a bit impatient, perhaps I would have viewed that whole interaction in a very different light. I might have felt threatened, a bit annoyed by people looking at me and smiling and whistling. So it's a reminder that that reality is how we perceive it. Our perceptions, our projections based on what we've experienced in the past, what we're thinking, what we're experiencing in that moment, can influence how we see our reality. And as for this girl, I mean, if she's got Tourette's, my heart goes out to her, because I know it's very difficult, because not everybody understands what's going on. Yes, I hope that this person she was with, her friend, is the kind of support she needs, because life isn't always easy when you have that sort of condition or disability. But they're a lovely couple, and it was an interesting interaction for me. So what are your thoughts? Have you ever noticed that based on your frame of mind, you see a situation in a very different light? And if you were to look at it again in a completely different frame of mind, whether you see it in a very, very different light. So with that, I'm going to end today's session video, and I'll be back again very soon with another SMS. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.